Farmer Fanatics, the best agricultural talk show in the world. I am your host, Emma Gran, and today we will be discussing an issue faced by farmers everywhere: pests. I'm talking about birds, insects, weeds, and all those other uninvited guests taking up space in your farmland. These pests must be stopped. They take up nutrients from your soil, they eat your crops, and they kill your plants. Here with me today, I have two special guests to talk about a new, innovative, and environmentally friendly way to manage those pests. We have Farmer Lauren Prinke, owner of San Marcos Creek Vineyard, and Dr. Amna Hashim, a PhD in environmental science.
Thanks for having me.
No problem. Now, Farmer Lauren, can you tell our studio audience a little about your vineyard and the problems you are facing?
Sure. My vineyard is infested with insects, weeds, and birds.
Yikes! Dr. Hashim, can you tell us a little bit about your innovative pest management plan? Hopefully these ideas can help Farmer Lauren.
I am an avid supporter of integrated pest management, or IPM. IPM uses biological, chemical, and physical strategies to control pests. This method reduces the dependence of pesticides, which is a good thing because it will eliminate pests without them acquiring genetic resistance to pesticides. And it is helpful for the environment in the way it reduces pesticide runoff onto other farmland or water supplies, and it can also reduce soil erosion.
Reducing pests without pesticides? How absurd! How so?
Some examples could be introducing a new pest that will only feed off of your current pests and not your crops, such as ladybugs or aphids. Or it could be used as simply covering with nets, or to prevent outside pests from eating your crops.
The two insects I'm dealing with are the mealybug and the Hippotocian Thurio. I'm not sure how to get rid of these bugs without using pesticides. What do you suggest?
Farmer Lauren, you said that you were dealing with insects. Well, for your problem with the vine mealybug, you could go one of two ways: cultural or biological. For biological control, the Anagra pseudococcus is a natural predator of the mealybug. It reduces mealybug populations present after harvest before they return to the roots of the lower trunk to overwinter. However, do note that over spring they do not emerge from its overwintering state until about bloom, providing minimal mealybug suppression during the early and mid-season. As for cultural control, one thing you should know is that female and nymphal mealybugs are wingless, so they must be carried by humans, equipment, wind, birds, or be already present at the time of planting. So be sure not to allow contaminated equipment, vines, grapes, or winery waste near uninfested vineyards. Also, steam sanitation of equipment and covering all pumice piles with clear plastic for several weeks can reduce contamination a great deal. Now, moving on to the Hippotocian Thurio that you mentioned. You could also go the biological control route. The bacterium Bacillus thuringiensis produces a crystal protein called O-endotoxins that have insecticidal action. Also, the fungus Metazarium annosupply grows naturally in soils throughout the world and causes diseases in various insects, including the Celluria. For half-grown and mature larvae, you could go the physical control route and pick them off by hand because they are relatively large.
I see. I think I understand. One of my fellow farmers actually implemented a similar system. His vineyard was infested by weeds such as dandelions, white horehound, and bridal creepers. So, to get rid of the dandelions, he implanted free-range chickens which eat the dandelions. For the white horehound, he exposed horehound clear-wing moth, whose larvae feeds on the growing tissue inside the roots and stems. Finally, for the bridal creeper, he implanted a bug called rust fungus. It affects stems and leaves of bridal creepers, obtaining nutrients and water for its own development. Also, it destroys leaf tissue, thereby reducing photosynthetic capacity. Would this be an example of IPM?
Yeah, Farmer Lauren, this is a perfect example of IPM that we're doing.
You know, this reminds me a lot about what I heard on last month's show. I had a guest, and he told me that he used noise to repel his pests. Maybe you could implement some of these ideas, Farmer Lauren. You could plant waterproof speakers in various areas of your vineyard. These speakers can sound like birds, and they will have various pitches and sound like various birds, and they'll sound like birds in distress. And other birds will actually hear these sounds, and they will not want to enter your garden because they hear those other birds, and they will fly away and not eat your crops.
Yes, that is a very perfect example of IPM.
Well, I learned a lot today. Hopefully our audience can apply some of these IPM techniques to their own crops. Let us know if it works. I would love to hear your opinion. Take care. I'll see you tomorrow.
Bye. Keep tuning in to Farmer Fanatics, weekdays at noon.